People are vulnerable to sexual violence and often feel isolated and stigmatized. A psychoeducational support group can offer accurate information, a sense of community, and skills for recovery and growth. Our goal is to help teen survivors access their own strengths and courage to claim a healthy and rewarding life. Survivors may be from any ethnic or cultural group and have diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. Trauma effects are cumulative and subjective. They affect different parts of the body, the brain, a sense of safety, connection, even a sense of meaning in the world. And so here you would just kind of introduce the slide and then open up the group for a bit of discussion on what these types of cumulative and subjective effects, trauma effects on these different systems are. Isolation. Many teen survivors feel terribly isolated because of the shame and stigma surrounding sexual victimization. They may feel as though they are the only ones who have gone through this trauma and that their peers lead such different lives and that they can't relate to each other. Since most teens long to have friends and to feel accepted by peers, this isolation can be extremely painful. Psychoeducational support groups rebuild self-esteem by giving survivors a place of safety in which they can feel successful. As they participate in activities and are offered a chance to help others, as well as receiving help themselves, teen survivors can begin to gain strength and self-worth. The shame and distress that many teen survivors experience can lead to disrupted relationships with friends, parents, partners, distortions of body image, mood disorders, substance abuse, and other concerns that carry their own severe consequences. In the healing atmosphere of a support group, teen survivors can learn that the abuse was not their fault and that they can be whole and happy and that they can have hope for the future. So every few slides, I would suggest stopping with deliberation and intent and doing breathing exercises or other mindful grounding techniques, which we will talk about more as we continue with the slides. But this is a 4-square breathing exercise. It's commonly used by paramedics in the field, by first responders who need to quickly get back in check with their bodies and finish whatever task or mission is at hand. So here we go. I just want you to be present in your own body, uncross legs, uncross feet, uncross hands, arms. And just settle into your skin, settle into your bones. Take a minute with intention to just breathe. And 4-square breathing goes like this. I will count you through. We'll do 4 breaths of 4. And each one will count forwards and then backwards. I will show you. Okay, here we go. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing all the way down into the bottom of your belly. Out. 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out. 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out. 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now we're calm, we're centered, and we can attend to what we need to attend to. Okay? You can always come back to this place of breathing. You have total control of your breathing. You're breathing and you're counting. You're counting forward, you're counting backward. You're tricking your brain and your body to get back online, centered, alert, and ready. Okay, moving on to slide 5. I will fully admit, take responsibility for this. My slide is messed up and I don't know how to fix it. And I'm just accepting it. So here's me being a human being, accepting the fact that I am not perfect and I probably never will be, and that it's okay. All right. Common trauma responses. I broke this into 4 categories on purpose because a lot of people think fight, flight, sometimes they remember freeze, always, always forget about fawn, unless you're in certain circles. So fawn, almost always someone in the group will ask me, what does this fawn word mean? And so the other ones are fairly self-explanatory. You fight, so you swing, you scream, you run. You flight, so you run away, you get away somehow. You freeze, you become very, very small and very quiet and hope that the threat passes you by, or you fawn. Okay, this is where you would negotiate, you would do peacekeeping, you would do accommodating the perpetrator, walking around, walking on eggshells, making sure everything's perfect all the time, basically trying to control the behavior by over accommodating, fawning over the perpetrator or the room or the situation or whatever. It's a coping mechanism that many children who have no other alternatives will turn to fawn as a survival tactic. Okay, so we would just talk about those. We would talk, you could give an example. Sometimes I use the example of like a tiger, and I just take it through. I say a tiger has 4 choices. When it's fighting another tiger, it can fight back, it can run away, it can become really quiet and hope the other one forgets they're fighting, or it can negotiate and say, hey, we're going to bargain, we're going to work this out, here's what we're going to do, right? So I just make a silly little story and do it real quick. And then moving on to the next slide. Some contributing factors that affect trauma responses. So I would give a little bit of an example for each one of these. You can use any type of story or metaphor or whatever to describe this. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how trauma is cumulative over the course of a lifetime, and it also can build up for whatever reason based on these factors. Proximity, so how close to the crash were you? Intensity, how intense was the crash? Frequency, how many times or how long did you have to stay there at the crash site before something else happened? Okay, so you're talking about proximity, intensity, frequency, and then of course you have the other stuff of what the person intakes from it all. Some people are going to see every single detail and just track it like a map. Some people are going to just hear sounds and the big picture, and time will stand still. Everybody reacts differently to extreme stress conditions, so just know that. Okay, we're going to do one more slide and then we're going to take another break. This would be a great place for a group discussion on how each of these impact the recovery process after extreme stress exposure or after a sexual assault. Specifically. So safety, these I call the 4 S's. Safety, support, structure, stability. Okay? Safety. You've got to get the person out of the situation first. Okay? We're not going to even talk about anything until the person who we are there to rescue is safe. Okay? The situation has subsided and we're in a safe place, a temperature controlled place that is away from immediate threat or danger. Okay? Support. Being a nice support to someone is asking them, what do you need from me? If you cannot clearly make it out. And even if you can clearly make it out, or you think you are clearly making it out, ask the person if and when it is available, how can I support you? What can I do or say to help you feel safe and supported? I'm here, okay? Simple, simple. Structure. Structure would be creating order, having some sort of system, having some sort of ritual around basic self-care like eating and sleeping, having a quiet space, setting up tents or setting up stations or whatever, creating some structure and some form of activity that's moving you forth. That's not only the trauma talk, right? And then, of course, stability would be to provide all three of the others for a long period of time, thus creating stability um, and knowing that that baseline, what you knew before, you're not going back to. You'll have a new baseline now, and you'll have a new now, and it's okay.